The world today is not the world we once knew. As Dubaï drowns under its floods and the Southeast Asians burn under the sun, climate change is a rapidly growing phenomenon. Therefore, we wanted to see if climate change affects the acidification of coastlines. Our initial plan was to withdraw some water from the edge of the Mekong, where we tested its original pH level, then separate it into two test tubes, one to go into the refrigerator and the other one to keep at room temperature. We then needed an experimental protocol to see if the change in water temperature affected its pH level. Here's a map of downtown Phnom Penh. The red pin on the side of the river is where we got the water from.
These are all the tools we need to conduct our experiment. First is an electric hot plate, then a pH meter, a thermometer, a magnetic agitator, the water, and a beaker. The experiment calls for the beaker to be sitting on top of the electric hot plate with both the pH meter and the thermometer on top, where we start heating up the water little by little.
During the protocol, we decided to take the temperature every 5 minutes. Between the first and the last measurement, there seemed to be a noticeable difference between 8.6 and 7.5. Although this information alone is not enough to conclude that climate change has an impact on water acidity. However, we are able to deduce that hot water facilitated exchange between CO2 in the water and the atmosphere. When CO2 is in the water, it escapes easier into the atmosphere, and when CO2 is in the atmosphere, it dissolves easier into the water, which is one of the many factors that causes climate change.
Following National Geographic articles, the majority of CO2 is in the atmosphere, where it captures the heat and contributes to global warming. However, every year, the ocean absorbs around 25% of extra emitted CO2, which is a good thing for the atmosphere, but not for the oceans. From here till 2050, scientists predict that 86% of the world's oceans will be warmer and more acidic than ever in the history of the planet. And from here by year 2100, the pH of surface level water will drop to lower than 7.8.
To conclude, even though our experiments haven't directly pointed to climate change rendering the oceans more acidic, we were able to deduct that temperature change facilitates CO2 exchange between the water and the atmosphere, which in return acidifies oceans and leaves devastating consequences on the oceans, such as the destruction of the coral reef, which in return destroys the proper functioning of marine food chain. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention.